tore it down, I rebuilt it. I give myself a task, you can bet your ass I fulfill it. Yeah, man, I'm talking about Willis, one of the realest to try. My family.
So you were at 2:30 right now, Wednesday afternoon. You're about to go to sleep and then get up at 7?
I'll get up at 9.
9. And then you got to be to work by when?
11.
And you get off at 7?
In the morning.
And then you come here?
Yes.
Roger. Sounds like a lot of working.
It is.
Which one do you like better?
The other one pays more. I enjoy this one more.
The other one pays a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember, and I've thought about this a few times, I remember being back in high school and thinking, man, if I could just have that $20 to $25 an hour job, like, that'd be everything I want. I'm so far beyond that, I'm like, holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, way further than I thought I could be just working for somebody or someplace.
I tell guys that all the time. They pick some job, right? We have this perception when we're kids, like we know kind of what our parents, you might not, because I didn't have like a normal job ever.
Yeah.
But I knew kind of what mom made, and I knew kind of what dad made, and I knew kind of how we lived, right? So you have this perception that to live in this manner, you need to make this amount of money. And then you pick the job that you're going to hate the least that makes that money, because none of the jobs, like when you look at government school, you're conditioned to, you can be a doctor, you can be a lawyer, if you want a really prestigious job, right? But you could be a fireman, you could be a trash truck guy, whatever, or trades. Like you, I think you were very lucky that you had trades at your school.
It all happened by accident.
Correct.
Yeah.
What was the accident?
I was in shop class, so I was doing automotive, and then I got into machining and welding class, and, you know, I was running manual machines, I was doing some welding, and there was 2 CNC machines over there in the corner. And I look at my teacher, I'm like, I want to learn how to do that. And he just kind of brushed me off. He's like, yeah, no, not happening.
Did he know how to do it?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And so he had another guy he was going to teach how to do it, and he was going to go to Skills USA and compete at the state level competition for high school. And that dude was like, this isn't for me. So he came to me, he's like, you still want to do this? I said, yeah, absolutely.
How many years in were you?
That was my senior year of high school.
Because you were in there every year, right? 8th, 9th, 10th, 9, 10, 11?
I came back my sophomore year, so I was automotive sophomore year, machining and welding all the way up to my senior year, so 3 years. And then continued that through a tech school, went to Skills USA a second time. I medaled both times for the state competitions, and led to where I'm at now. I worked at a sort of fab shop, and then...
That was kind of like when you went to the competitions, that was when you were kind of like out in the wild for the first time by yourself.
Yeah.
I remember, like, because you were going to Chattanooga, right?
Yep.
And you
twice.
went to, like, and you got to go to the, like, you went to the aquarium and, and different places and stuff.
There's a really big rock climbing gym out there.
Huge. And it's good. It's that rock climbing gym is not only in the gym,
but it's
it is out and over the road. It's
and
wild.
I climbed on that outside and went all the way to the top of it.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. That whole little plaza there is neat.
Yeah, it's very cool. There's a lot of cool stuff out there.
Yeah. So what I was saying was, like, you have this perception, right, of how much money, and then when time goes forward, at least like for me, it's another decade almost, right, when we kind of form those ideas, and we go to school, and then they're like, but if you really want to make more money, instead of making $75,000 a year, and back then it was probably 30 and 50 when I was a kid, you can make 120 a year if you go to school for 4 more years. And you're like, fuck that. I don't want to go to school for 4 more years. When you graduated high school, you're like, hey, I want to go to trades. I remember we put you in TCAP, right?
TCAP.
So 18-month program?
16.
16. And we wrote the check for that. You went and did that. And then you immediately, you had guys shopping you for work.
Yep.
Before, and you worked all through high school. Like, you worked within the business the whole time also. All you kids did.
All through high school and all through TCAT. I was at TCAT for a regular school day, basically, so 8 to 2:30, and then that was in Paris, and I was driving here and working as well.
Yeah, and still putting in 40 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, all you kids know how to work, definitely.
Not scared of it.
No. It's bizarre when I meet a person that doesn't work. I don't, like, it's almost like we're a different species, right? It's like, yeah, a bird and a dog are both animals, but they can't breed, they can't talk, like they don't really interact. They're in the same world. But
I wouldn't know what to do.
If you had to recap this week, what do you think the coolest shit this week was?
I couldn't have even told you what day it was.
Right.
Well,
actually, we're only 3 days into it, right?
Yeah.
When did the rabbit thing happen?
Monday.
Holy shit, I thought that was last week.
That was Monday. Which I was off Monday. I started midnights last night, which was Tuesday night.
You were off, but you were in here, clocked in, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I was here 12 hours versus being between two places.
When we went to pick the rabbit, what did you think when we walked up there and you saw that?
I thought there was no fucking way we were getting that out of there.
I would have left it. Like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have bring it. I'd just been like, okay.
Like, if it was just you and me that showed up with that trailer, there's no way that would have happened.
I wouldn't have even taken the trailer in there.
Yeah.
Like, especially, I'm never going to drive in and with a possible deadhead and not be able to turn the trailer around. Like, I have until we know what's there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I would have left the 16-foot structure which holds the rabbit cages, and I'd have just taken all the rabbits, the cages, everything else, and been like, you can light that on fire or keep it or take it apart for 2x4s or whatever. But like I would have maybe duplicated it, and the chances are I would have had the intention to duplicate it, but I never would have because what I have already works, the system we have. But when Jake's like, I think, who said that, Jake or was it Pearl?
I think Jake said it before I did. I didn't hear him say that. But
how long do we have to move this? And I said, we're doing it right now. And then the light switched. Like, Roger that. Okay, okay, we'll figure this out.
Yeah.
Let's pick it up, see how heavy it is, and then, having Lewis in there and everybody.
Had it been 20 feet long, that would have gone completely different.
But you know what you would have had? We'd have done it the same way. So we had this 16-foot bookcase, basically. It's made of 2x4s. It's just a frame to hold these cages. And but it's got metal roofing on it. It's got gutters on it. It's got downspouts on it. Like, it's ruggedized.
It's nice.
And we were able to get 10 feet in the 10-foot trailer, 6 foot hung out. But her driveway is literally over the river and through the woods to Grandma's house. And it's beautiful back there. It's very tight trails that they've cut through there. Like, it'd be beautiful for mountain biking or riding a dirt bike through there.
Oh, yeah.
But that's their driveway. So the trailer, as we would come up, because it's on the truck, right? So it's teetering here, and then this back piece, as it comes up and down, is hitting the road.
Dragging.
So two guys had to walk with it and pick the weight up so that it didn't damage it. So I'd say the driveway was, I could be off on this, but I have a mile in my head. So we walked that out, got to the road, and we had left the big truck and trailer about a mile up the road at a church, a little, like, old snake handle. Looks like they probably dance with snakes in there or something. Just a one-bedroom, one-room church.
Sitting on blocks.
And so once we got there, we're like, okay, we got to unload this. And there's some question of how we're getting it up to the gooseneck trailer, which is much taller. And we did. We got it up there and tied it down and then brought it in here. And then that was a whole nother fiasco. Once we were here trying to put it under the hay barn structure, we had to turn it sideways. And with a couple more dudes, there would have been no question at all what we were doing. But we got that out. So it's a fun story. We've got some drone footage of it, and it'll be a day on the compound video in itself. The rabbits we got from her are much bigger. Like, they're very friendly. We went to this lady's house. It's very, like, magical is really the word to describe it. Like, when you go down in there, it's like when you come into the driveway, there's like ferns and it's like a rainforest. And you're like, I bet there's some fairies out here or something, like little magical animals and stuff. And as you go down and get into the clearings, because they're just very tall pine, like way taller than any pine trees we have here.
Yeah.
And you get into her area, and then she's got like these chickens, and every chicken's super friendly, and every chicken has a name. And you start looking around, and you realize that everything's intentional that's there. She's got all these plants you're looking at, they put there. Every one of them produces food, and very neat. She makes all her own medicine. And I'm like, do you know my wife, Amanda? She's like, no. Like, do you know Dawn Gorham? I'm like, man, you got to know, you live 15 minutes from us, And we are all doing exactly the same thing.
Never would have known you were there.
No. And I only met her because she had posted on her Facebook page that she had these rabbits for sale. Somebody she knows put it in Dawn's group, and I happened to see it. And people are like, I want one of the does. And they're like starting to break it up. And I'm like,
no.
Hey, I'll take every bit of this. Like, when can we meet? And really cool. We've made a friend out of this. And
they've really done amazing with what they've got back there. I mean, none of it's flat. It's all hills and gullies. It is a terrible piece of land. Like, if I was going to buy
really
something,
is,
that
would
not be what I want.
Yeah, it really is.
But they've done amazing with it.
Yeah, and I look at that, and it's just vision, man. And he said 7 years of sweat, blood, and chainsaw fuel and bar oil.
Yeah.
And like, I look at it and I'm like, that big bulldozer is going to be really expensive, but we could, in a week, we could knock all the tops into the bottom and level all this and keep it hidden in some woods and have usable space. But man, they really have done a ton in there, and it's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you working on, like, production wise right now? What's your big push?
Just cut some 6 mags, OD.
6 mag stacked rigs?
Yep.
Nice.
Put a set of those out there this morning. I am doing OD 12 gauge micros right now.
OD,
We've got
okay.
all of the dinosaur bags going.
Yep. I just saw the first 2 batches of those came off the line.
I cut all the rest of the Memorial Day bags.
Good. That'll finish up all of that and give us whatever's not ready to ship. We'll at least have the free promo item for.
Yep. Got more rigs coming up after that. I think they're 308 split fronts. I know they're split front of some kind. They're a bunch of OD rigs right now.
Yeah,
I've got in my
just
pile.
because we run so little OD, so we're just knocking out all that stuff, and then we'll have extras of it. And we'll sit on extras of OD for a long time, so it'll be in inventory. Cool. Well, I just want to sit down for a minute. Anything to add?
Nope.
Okay. Entertain, educate, equip. You want to entertain them. That gives you, you get to capture their attention with entertainment. You educate them, tell them something they didn't know, whether they know you told it or not, and then equip, which is the call to action. So give me some entertainment for a second. Entertain the audience. I know you're not ready for this.
Not only am I not ready, I'm completely drawing a blank right now.
Have you seen anything
entertaining?
Have you seen anything fun this weekend? This week?
All I've done is work.
But is it fun? Did you have fun out there with the rabbit thing?
I mean, I didn't not enjoy it. It was hot.
Hot, wet, everybody was soaking wet, but I mean,
Yeah.
It's kind of fun when we're like, mount up, we're rolling out.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a story out of it.
Yeah. Okay, educate. Tell me something that you learned. Tell the audience something that you know that they might not know.
If you're going to go on an adventure, bring more people than you think you need. It's always going to be more difficult and more tricky than what you're expecting when you roll up.
Let me push back on that. When you bring more people than you need, you move much slower.
True.
You have to take a lot more equipment and support for those people. And then you also don't have the difficulty, which makes the super cool story at the end.
True.
If we'd have had a troop of, what are they, troop or a pack, feral Amish? Like Amish will pick up a whole schoolhouse and they just move it because there's
like
100 of them.
2 Amish could have done what we did there.
Maybe. You don't really know. People don't know about Amish. You have all the, because they don't show up on film. They're like vampires. You don't really know what happened.
You seen those barn videos where they...
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, where they move the whole fucking barn.
Yeah.
Because there's 800 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, my plan with moving that thing was to bring a bunch of 2x4s and carry it like the Ark of the Covenant. Yeah.
It was so top heavy.
Yeah, because it is tall. It's super tall.
Yeah.
Okay, so entertain, educate, equip. Give me a call to action. That would be, hey, thanks for, I hope you gained something from this, and thanks for spending your time. You could be anywhere on the internet, but you were here with us. So join my email list. Subscribe to my text app. If you use Amazon, please go to the link in description and click any of the Amazon links, and it'll give us a little percentage of what you spent as a thank you for whatever knowledge you just gained from us. That's it. That's equip. Entertain, educate, equip.
How many times have you said that?
Oh, I say it every night.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm putting it in your head right now. You don't realize that,
Yeah.
but this is what's going to sink in. Andy Frisella, when he was doing the EMF CEO podcast, he had this black dude on out of San Diego. I never can remember his name, But that's where it came from, entertain, educate, equip. And he uses props. Like they rented out the Star of India, the old like pirate ship looking ship down by the airport. And they actually shot a insurance commercial on there. He'll pop up out of nowhere into the camera and he'll have a giant oversized greeting card, right? Because it sticks in people's heads.
Right.
They wear costumes and do these big ads for big companies like Nike and shit. But the one takeaway, I actually had several takeaways out of that. He was talking about, that's where I got, email actually has an algorithm. So you need to go through, and on the back end of your email list, you can look at who opens and who never opens. Take them dudes that never open and kill them off your list, and it'll change the open rate on your algorithm. But before you do that, and I did this, I didn't get it there, but we sent him a coupon.
I remember that.
Hey, we'll give you a discount. You have 24 hours to use this thing. 10% of them use it, open it, and then they come back into the list, and they've also made a purchase.
Yeah.
The other ones we kill off of there. But that came from that dude. And his wasn't equip. It was entertain, educate, something. But equip, because we do equipment, that turned into equip, and that's where that came from.
I've heard you say that for years.
Yeah, I tell anybody who has a business, I tell them that.
Yeah.
Because everybody falls short on that. They don't ever ask for anything. They make all kinds of content. People watch their content. The numbers are good. I'm like, cool, what did you get for it? Did you make a sale? Did we capture their email? Did we capture their text? Do we have some clear line of communication with them in the future if we want to? Did they buy your book? Most people don't have money because they just didn't ask for the money. So that's it. All right. Go to sleep.
Oh, I'm going to.
Go to bed. See you next time.
They tore it down, I rebuilt it. I give myself a task. You can bet your ass I fulfill it. Yeah, man, I'm talking about realest, one of the realest to try. My family.